6a sketch. One axis labeled V and the other labeled I, either way round and gradual curve from origin curving such that VI increases. Explanation. As current temperature increases so resistance increases. Some more voltage required for same increase in current out. Or if V on y-axis, gradient must increase. Or if V on x-axis, gradient must decrease. 6 by 9.0 V. 12.03.0. 6 BII 2.1a. I equals VR or I equals VR or 9. 0 quarters point 2. 6B0A. 6 BIV ammeter reading 2.1a. 6 BV 19W. P equals V or P equals V or 9 2.1. 9AI equals VR in any form or R equals V I or 7. 0 quarters point 6. 1.5 ohms. 9B resistor. Resistance is constant. Thermistor. Resistance decreases. 9C 4.6 plus 4.6. 9.2a. Or. Combined resistance equals 1. 522 over 1.52 plus 1.52 equals 0.76 ohms. I equals 7. 0 over 0.76 equals 9.2a. 9CIIE equals IVT or in words are 9.2 times 7 times 5 times 60. 19,000 J. 10A if voltage is very high, current is very low, not if resistance is low. If current is low, thermal energy generated, power loss is low. If current is low, thinner, lighter, cheaper transmission cables with less resistance, cheaper pylons can be used. Cheaper. 10 by Vp Vs equals Norper Ns in any form or Ns equals Norper Vs Vp or 4000 times 9 120ths. Ns equals 300. 10 BII iron or soft iron. 8a Rs equals R1 plus R2 plus R3 in any form or Rs equals R1 plus R2 plus R3 or Rs equals 3 plus 2 plus 6 ohms or Rs equals 11 omega. And V equals IR in any form or I equals VR or I equals 12 11ths A. I equals 1.1a. 8b uses resistance of wire proportional to length or resistance XQ equals 6 ohms 0. 6 halves 0.0 ohms or 1.8 ohms. 1 Rp equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or Rp equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2. 1 Rp equals 1 over 1.5 plus 1/6 times O, 6 halves. Or Rp equals 1.5 times 6 times 0.6 2 over 1.5 plus 6 times O, 6 halves. Or Rp equals 1.5 times 1.8, 1.5 plus 1.8 equals 0.82 ohms. R equals 3 plus 2 plus 0.82 equals 5.8 ohms. 9a NAND. 9b not. 9CAB first row 11 and fourth row 00. AB second and third row 01 and 10 in any order. E first two rows 01. E last two rows 11. 10a magnetic field produced. Magnetic field, magnetic flux, magnetic effect, magnetism. It alternates, changes direction, reverses. 10be. M. F. Page. D. Voltage. 10c temperature increased. Current in base of pan O. W. T. T. E. Thermal energy produced in base of pan. 7a no cutting of magnetic flux, magnetic field. 7b to the top of the page RH box. Current, motion and magnetic field. Mutually at right angles. Magnetic field from left to right. 7c opposite current direction, opposite deflection on ammeter. 7CII greater current deflection. 8a energy supplied by a source in driving charge around a complete circuit, energy needed to drive unit charge 1 coulomb. Round circuit. 8 by P equals 90 WA3. P equals VI in any form. VR or I equals 2. 8 BII page D. Equals 15 V. P. D. Equals 60 to 45. 8 BI equals 15 tenths equals 1.5 A. I equals VR or V equals IR in any form. 9AI PI POP. 00. 01. 10. 11. IPI POP. 000. 011. 101. 111. 9B2 inputs to curved face, sharp end with small circle and 1 output. 9C1. 0. 1. 0. 9CII and. Input 1 and 1 gives output 1. Any 0 input gives 0 output. 6a minimum of 1 arrow on a field line pointing N, right pointing arrow S and not contradicted. Central line perpendicular to poles of magnets and at least 2 other correct field lines. 6 bi or slip rings. 6 bii, minimum of 1 arrow, pointing clockwise, on the wire, not contradicted. Field direction, motion of wire and induced current are mutually perpendicular OWTTE. 6b as coil rotates it cuts magnetic field between the magnets. This induces an E, M, F, voltage page, D, in the coil. This produces a current in the coil transferred to the galvanometer via the slip rings and carbon brushes. Direction of current flow changes with each 180-degree rotation of coil. 7a 8 cells, 7 by 12 halves. 0.4 equals 5.0 ohms. R equals V I in any form. 7 BII resistance of Q equals 5 to 1.5 equals 3.5 ohms. 1 R equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or R equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2. 7C correct voltmeter symbol connected correctly across both lamps. 7 CII 4.3 WA3. P equals IV in any form or 1.2 times 3.6. 3.6 V or 1.2A. 8A labeled diagram showing. Labeled iron core. 2 coils, labeled primary and secondary, around core and connected to separate circuits. Fewer turns on labeled secondary coil. B3, 8B primary voltage causes an alternating current in primary coil. Produces a changing magnetic field. Changing field induces PDE, M, F, in secondary coil. 8C 0.026. Ns per Nepper equals Vs, Vp in any form. 9I a signal that has one of 2 possible states. 9AII ABCD. 0001, 0101, 1001, 1110. C all correct. D all correct. B2, 9B NAND. 7A. Work done in passing charge through across a component. Work done per unit charge. 7 by. Definition of EMF. E equals WQ. 7 BII. 270J. W equals EQ or 9.030. 7C. Correct symbols for D. C. Power supply, a lamp and a thermistor. 3 components in a complete series circuit. 7 CII. Resistance of thermistor decreases when temperature increases. Resistance of circuit decreases or greater current in lamp so brightness of lamp increases or greater page D. Across lamp so brightness of lamp increases. 8A. Downwards into the page anti-clockwise. 8B. Current, magnetic field, motion at right angles to each other. Magnetic field from left to right N to S and current is from A to B positive to negative. 8C. At vertical the coil stops or at vertical the coil overshoots and comes back or the coil vibrates about the vertical. Any one from. As the coil approaches vertical the turning effect decreases. At vertical the turning effect is 0. Past vertical the turning effect reverses changes direction. 8D. Reverses the current. Any 2 from. Brushes ensure current is maintained. OT. Coil rotates continuously continues to move in the same direction. Allows current to change direction without wires getting tangled. Reverses the current every half turn 180 degrees or reverses the current when the coil is vertical at right angles to the magnetic field. 0625_S19_Ms_41.pdf. 7A thermistor circa A. O. 7 by. Vx equals. V30. 7 BII. Vx equals. E. V20 in any form. 7C1. R1 plus 1. R2 equals 1. Ardet Ardet equals. R1 R2. R1 plus. R2 or 1/15 plus 1/30 equals 1. Ardet. Or 15 times 30 15ths plus 30. 10 ohms or 10 plus 20. 30. Omega. 7 CII. I equals. V. R in any form or. I equals. V. R or 6. 0/30ths. 0.20. A. 7D resistance of X decreases. Ammeter reading it increases and total resistance of circuit decreases more voltage across 20. Omega resistor. 8I magnetic field mentioned. Coil wire cuts magnetic field or changing magnetic field through coil. E. M. F. Voltage induced or produced by electromagnetic induction. 8AII plane of coil horizontal or in position shown in diagram. Coil cutting magnetic field the fastest. 8B current in coil. Or, energy supplied to lost from lamp. Current in magnetic field experiences a force. Student must do more work, supply more energy. More energy needed. Opposes the change, causing it greater force to do more work. 0625_S19_Ms_42.pdf. 8A bring charged rod close to sphere, touching sphere. Earth sphere or equivalent. Remove earth connection and keep rod close to sphere until earth removed. O, W, T, T, E. 8B light emitting diode or LED. 8C correct labeling of IP and OP, all IP numbers correct in any order. All 4 rows of numbers correct, in any order. 8D column D correct. First 2 rows of E correct. Second 2 rows of E correct. 9A place magnet in coil. Either, gradually withdraw magnet. With AC in coil switched on. Or, reduce current to 0. 9B keeps coil rotating in the same direction. O, W, T, T, E. By changing direction of current in the coil. Every half cycle, 180 degrees. 9BII coil rotates faster. 10A1 RP equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or RP equals 1 over 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or RP equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2 or 0.2 times 0.3 0.2 plus 0.3 or 0.6 times 0.2 RP equals 0.12 ohms. RT equals 0.12 omega plus 0.20 omega equals 0.32 omega. 10B statement. Resistance of lamp increases M1. Explanation. Temperature of lamp increases. 0625_S19_Ms_43.pdf. 8A. P equals V in any form. I equals 700,240 equals 2.9A. 8B 13A fuse. Any 2 out of 2.9 plus 7.5 seen. If too low it would break, blow, melt when the appliances are operating normally. If fuse too high wouldn't break, blow until current was too high, which would be dangerous to people, wires, appliance. 8C resistance inversely proportional to area, so resistance of thicker wire is lower. Fuse will melt at higher current. Because heating effect equals I2R or less heating effect for same current out. 8D any 2 renewable sources of energy from solar, wind, water, hydroelectric, waves, tidal, geothermal. 8DII any relevant disadvantage for one of their correct answers to DEG. Energy for wind, waves, sun not always available. Cost of building wind turbines or tidal barrages or hydroelectric dams. Wind turbines affect the scenery of some areas. Solar farms use agricultural land, takes up a lot of space. 9A light dependent resistor or LDR. 9B input 1 input 2 output. 001, 010, 100, 110, 2 input columns and 1 output column and 4 correct rows of input. All 4 rows with correct, in any order. 9CDE, 11, 11, 00, 01, all D correct. First 2 rows of E correct. Last 2 rows of E correct. 9D conductors have free delocalized electrons, electrons which move freely. Electrons in insulators don't move or are fixed. 10A correct shape of graph showing 1 rotation. Graph starts from maximum voltage positive or negative labeled horizontal. Graph passes through 0 twice, labeled 1/4 and 3/4 revolution. 10B induced E, M, F, caused by coil cutting magnetic field or coil moving in magnetic field. 10C slip rings, provide continuous connection while coil rotating. 10D any 2 of increase strength of magnetic field. Increase speed of rotation of the coil. Increase numbers of turns of coil. 0625_S20_Ms_41.pdf. 7I copper contains free electrons. Good electrical conductor. 7AII magnetic material or easily magnetized. Temporary magnetic material or easily demagnetized. 7 by alternating, changing, varying magnetic field produced by X. Electromagnetic induction in Y. Alternating electromotive force E, M, F, between terminals of Y in Y. 7 BII current in X increases. To supply the power used in Y, the lamp. 8A 990 54ths 1.2 or 990 45ths or number of cells in pack equals 54 over 1.2 or 45. 22. 8 by P equals A or 1.2 times 3.5, 4.2, W or 4.2 JS. 8 BII thick wires have a smaller resistance, less thermal energy generated in wires, more efficient or less risk of fire insulation melting. 9A digital signal consists of high and low states voltages. Analog signal, continuously varying voltage. 9 by and gate, and, or gate. 9 BII when the inputs differ. And gate, produces 0. And, or gate, produces 1. 9C both inputs to upper NOR gate are zeros. 9CII two identical inputs to NAND gate are 1s. Lower input to lower NOR gate is 1. Output Q is 0. 0625_S20_Ms_42.pdf. 7I primary coil wound round iron and labeled primary or coil are connected to labeled supply 12V. Secondary coil wound round iron and labeled secondary are connected to labeled output 2V. Significantly more coils around primary. 7AII 2 from 3. Links magnetic fields of coils primary and secondary. Stronger magnetic field in secondary. Better induction ode. 7AE. V1I1 equals V2I2 in any form or I1 equals V2I2 V1 or I1 equals 2 times O 10/12. I1 equals 0.017. A. 7B metal case earthed. In case wire falls off, insulation fails, live wire touches case. 8A 2 circuit symbols correct. 3 circuit symbols correct. Symbol for cell, battery or power supply and 2 other circuit symbols in series. LED correct way round. 8B, R, equals, VI in any form or R equals, VI, R equals 3. 1 over 0.030 equals 100. Omega, 8C uses 10.5, equals 2.1, plus V across heater, R, equals 8. 4 over 1.5 equals 5.6. Omega, 8CII, P, equals, V in any form or P equals, V, P, equals 8.4, times 1.5 equals 12.6 W. 9A output 1, 1, 1, 0. 9 by, and, 9 BII first 2 lines of E0, 1. Last 2 lines of E1, 1. 9C, Q, equals it in any form or Q equals it. Q, equals, 3, times 60, equals 180 C. N, equals, 3, times 60 over 1.6, times 10 to 19 equals 1.1, times 1021, 0625_S20_Ms_43.pdf. 8I region in which an electric charge experiences a force. 8AII direction of force on a positive charge. 8B any 4 from. Ball moves towards positive plate. Ball touches positive plate, made of conducting material so becomes positively charged. Repelled from positive plate, touches negative plate and loses charge. Negatively charged ball attracted back to positive plate and process repeats. 8CI equals QT in any form. T equals QI. T equals 15 over 0.29 equals 52s. 9I anti-clockwise seen from brushes. I correctly described. F down on left, up on right. 9AII arrow labeled correct direction on coil. 9AE electrons. They are repelled from. They connection of supply. 9 by rotates in opposite direction. 9BII turns faster or greater moment turning effect. 9B turns faster or greater moment turning effect. 0625_S21_Ms_41.pdf. 7I any 3 from. Y-axis labeled E, M, F, and X-axis labeled time. At least one cycle of a sinusoidal wave. Only 2 complete cycles of a sinusoidal wave. Constant amplitude and constant period for first 2 periods of a sinusoidal wave. B3. 7AII peak or trough or corresponding time labeled P. 7AE amplitude maximum E, M, F, increases. E, M, F, changes direction more often or greater frequency. 7B alternating current in primary coil. Alternating, changing magnetic field. or magnetic field cuts secondary coil continuously, alternating E, M, F, induced in the secondary coil. 7C smaller current and same resistance when the power is transmitted at an equal rate. Less thermal energy loss produced in cables. 8A, and between P and Q. 8B 1.5 V circa A, O. 8C 1600, omega, V 800, omega equals 4.0 V. I equals VR in any form or 4. 0.08 or 0.0050 air. R equals VI or 8. 0 over 0.0050. Or 1600, omega, V 800, omega equals 4.0 V. RTH equals R 800, omega, times VTH V 800, omega in any form or RTH equals 800, times 8. 0.0 in any form. Or 1600, omega, 12, 800, plus RTH or 8.0, RTH or RTH, 800, plus RTH, 12, 800, plus RTH equals 8.0, RTH in any form. 8CII larger proportion of the E, M, F, across thermistor or smaller voltage across 800. Omega, temperature of thermistor is smaller, has decreased. Resistance of thermistor circuit is larger. 0625_S21_Ms_42.pdf. 7A 3 lines from N face to S face. Middle line must be straight and perpendicular to N faces. At least one arrow from N to S. And no arrows from S to N. 7 by needle perpendicular to N faces N. Arrow pointing to S or correctly labeled N or S. 7 BII compass needle it aligns with fielder. Compass needle it points in direction of magnetic field. Or compass needle it points to south. N pole of needle attracted to S of magnets. Or N pole repelled by N of magnets. Or unlike poles attract, like poles repel. 7C heat or hammer. With magnet lying magnetically E, W, or place in coil, solenoid with A, C. Withdraw or reduce current to 0. 8I, alpha in box 4, towards bottom of page. Gamma in box 3, no deflection. 8AII, alpha in box 1, into page. Gamma in box 3, no deflection. 8 by clockwise except rotation arrow on diagram. Force on L wire up arrow on L wire labeled force on diagram. Force on RH wire down arrow on R wire labeled force on diagram. 8BII none, 0 moment. 8B current in coil reverses or changes direction. Forces on wires in new positions still up on L or down on R out. 9A anti-clockwise arrow labeled conventional current somewhere in circuit. Electron flow arrow opposite to conventional current. 9B Q equals it in any form or Q equals it or 13. Times 1. Q equals it equals 13. Times 1 equals 13C. N equals 13 over 1.6. Times 10 to 19 equals 8.1. Times 10 19. 10 AV equals IR in any form or R equals VI. R equals 9. 2 over 0.004 equals 2300. Omega. 10B much greater current in lamp or lamp activated, lights glows, gets brighter out. Resistance of thermistor component K reduced compared to value at very low temperature. Voltage page. D of point X across R increases. Larger current in lamp. 10C thermistor. 0625_S21_Ms_43.pdf. 7A energy supplied. To drive a unit charge 1C round a complete circuit. 7 by R equals 2.3. Omega or 2.2. Omega. R equals VI in any form. Current in R equals 4A or P. D. Across R equals 9V. 7 BII 1.1. Omega. Resistance proportional to length so twice length twice resistance. Resistance inversely proportional to area so twice diameter decreases resistance by factor of 4. 8A digital signal only 2 states. Low or high or 0 or 1. Analog signal any value. 8B. Correct symbol for NOR gate. 8C. And, or. 8CII rows 1, 2, 5, 6 all 1. Rows 3, 4, 7, 8 all 0. 9A. NS equals 24,000. NS equals NP times VS, VP or 50, times 110, times 103 230ths in any form. 9b labeled diagram showing soft iron core, copper coils, fewer coils on secondary than primary. B3, 9c alternating voltage in primary. Alternating, varying, changing magnetic field in iron core. Voltage is induced in the secondary coil. 0625_S22_Ms_41.pdf. 8a 0.27 JV equals at in any form or 10. 0.67 or 6.7 meters per second. 6.7 meters per second. K equals 1/2 MV2 in any form or 1/2. 0.012. 10. 0.672. Or 1/2. 0.012. 6.72. 8 by magnetic field. Magnetic field lines cut the copper tube it or VV. Electromagnetic induction occurs or E. M. F. Induced. 8 BII upwards opposing force on magnet. Force magnetic field E. M. F. Current opposes the change producing it opposes motion or force on magnet due to magnetic field caused by current in tube. 9a digital signal consists of 1s and 0s, high value and low. Analog signal is continuously variable in magnitude. 9b NOR gate N. 9c, i.e., NOR gate symbol with two inputs joined seen. 0625_S22_Ms_42.pdf. 7a pole A, N and pole B, S. 7b vertical, up, 7c vertical, down. 8at equals 1/60th equals 0.017 S or 1.7. 10 to 2, S. 8 by diode. 8 BII equals 1.4. A. I equals QT in any form. I equals 1.5. 1017. 1.6. 10-19 over 0.017 or 0.024, 0.017. 8c 1 arrow clockwise and 1 arrow anticlockwise. Arrow anticlockwise around circuit labeled I. 8 dp equals 0.35. 12 equals 4.2 W. P equals I. V in any form. 9i 0a. 9ai equals 12 halves equals 6.0a. I equals V R in any form. 9aei equals 12 fifths equals 2.4. A. Rs equals R1 plus R2 equals 2 plus 3 equals 5. 9b-Rp equals 6 fifths equals 1.2. 1 Rp equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or Rp equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2. 1 Rp equals 1/2 plus 1/3 or Rp equals 2. 3 2 plus 3. 10a output of X output of Y. 10, 10, 01, 00. All column X correct 1, 1, 0, 0. First two rows of column Y correct 0, 0. Last two rows of column Y correct 1, 0. 10b high humidity and darkness. 10c relay. Low voltage output of NOR gate, gate Y. Or small current in relay coil. Larger current provided by relay. Or larger voltage provided by relay. 0625_S22_Ms_43.pdf. 8i light dependent resistor LDR. 8aii voltmeter connected in parallel with component Y. 8ae 10.016. A. I equals VR in any form or 12/400ths or 12/350ths or 12/750ths. Or, R total equals R1 plus R2 equals 750. 26.4 volts. 8aIV in a dark room the P. D. across component Y decreases. 8b1 named practical application of LDREG switch on streetlights at night turn on security light at night. 9i any 4 from. Needle oscillates as magnet moves up and down. Coil cuts magnetic field changes as magnet moves. Changing magnetic field induces voltage current. Induced voltage current opposes the motion change causing it. Force, magnetic field and induced current are mutually perpendicular. 9aii larger maximum deflection. 9b 2300. NP equals VPNS. VS in any form or NP equals 25000, 36000, 40000. 0625 S23 Ms 41.pdf. 7ANE2 from. Potential divider splits shares divides the E, M, F, voltage potential difference page, D, of a power source in a circuit. E, M, F, is split between two resistors components connected in series to power source. Potential divider shares E, M, F, in proportion to the resistances of the resistor's components. 7 by E, M, F, equals 15 V. 7 BII resistance equals 60. RLL equals R2 R3. R2 plus R3 or RLL equals 40 and 40/40ths plus 40 or RLL equals 1680ths. Or 1 RLL equals 1 R2 plus 1 R3 or 1 RLL equals 1/40th plus 1/40th or RLL equals 1/40th plus 1/40th 1 or RLL equals 20. Resistance equals 40 plus candidate's value for combined resistance of R2 and R3. 7C reading equals 10 V. EMF shared in same proportion as resistance. Or e.g., R1 RLL equals V1 VLL. Or reading equals 15 and 40/60ths or reading equals 0.2540. 8ANE4 from. Alternating current in primary coil. Current in primary generates changing magnetic field. Iron core concentrates magnetic field or iron core transfers magnetic field to secondary coil. Secondary coil is an alternating, changing magnetic field or secondary coil cuts magnetic field. E, M, F, induced in secondary coil. 8 by number of turns equals 3000. Norper Ns equals Vp Vs or Norper equals Ns Vp Vs or Norper equals 450 and 220,000 33,000ths. 8 BII current equals 350 A. P equals IV or I equals PV or I equals 7.7 107 220,000ths. I equals 3.510 N. 0625 S23 Ms 42.pdf. 8I region in which a magnetic pole experiences a force. 8AII in the direction of the force on the N pole. 8B4 radial lines outside sphere, touching the sphere and equally spaced all around sphere. Direction of arrows towards the sphere. 8C 2.0 volts. 8CII ratio of P, D, across R2, R3 equals 1, 2. 8CE1. Current is 0 in R1 and diode is in wrong direction to allow current out. 8CE2. Ratio of P, D, across R2, R3 equals 1, 1. 0625 S23 Ms 43.pdf. 6AI equals 9.8A. P equals I2R or I2P. R, or I2 2500. 26. I2 equals 2526 or I equals square root P R or 2526. 6BR equals 53. R proportional L or 1. 8 over 1.2 or 1.5 seen as multiplier. R proportional 1A or 7.910 minus 7/5.810 to 7 or 1.362 seen as multiplier. 6C cost equals $36. E equals PT and cost equals E 0.30 or 7A IP equals 0.14A. VP IP equals versus as or IP equals versus as VP or IP equals 12 5 220ths. IP equals 12 5 220ths. 7B turns ratio equals 18, 1. Norper Ns equals Vp Vs or Norper Ns equals Vp Vs or turns ratio equals 220/12ths. 0625 W19 Ms 41.pdf. 5A4 or more radial arrows lines outside surface. At least one arrow pointing towards center of sphere and none wrong. 5 by positive charges on left and negative charges on right of S. Equal numbers. 5 BII it moves towards, attracted towards the negatively charged sphere, to the left. 5B electrons negative charges move along the wire towards earth, towards ground down the wire. S becomes positively charged. 5C electrons mentioned. Free to move, delocalized, mobile in metals, S or fixed in position in plastic, stand. 6I. I equals. P, V or in any form words, symbols or numbers or I equals. P, V or 9230ths. 39A. 6aii 40a or any greater integer value in up to and including 60a. 6b, e equals pt or in any form words, symbols or numbers or e equals pt or 9000 times 1.0 or 9000 J scene. 35 to 16 or 19 degrees Celsius scene. M equals E, C, increment T or in any form words, symbols or numbers or M equals E, C, increment T or 9000 4200 times 19, 0.11 kilograms. 6C 2 different metal wires joined at one end and voltmeter. Between free ends. Or 3 metal wires and 2 different joined ABA and voltmeter. Between free ends. 6CII anyone from. Quick response makes measurements fast. Measures rapidly varying temperatures. Electrical output. Small heat capacity. Robust, rugged. 7A 7/7. The 8th of June 10 marked towards top of y-axis and 1.0 towards right of x-axis. A straight line of positive gradient from 0 to 1.0, 7.6. 7 by energy transferred per unit charge. Energy transferred from chemical or energy transferred to electrical or energy transferred around in a complete circuit. 7 BII1. I equals VR or in any form words, symbols or numbers or I equals VR or 12/7.6. 1.6a. 2. 4.2 volts or 4.3 volts. 3. Q equals it or in any form words, symbols or numbers or Q equals it or 1.6 times 5.5 times 60 or 1.6 times 5.5 or 8.8 C. 520 C or 530 C. 8 IN equals SINI SINR in any form words, symbols or numbers or N equals SINI SINR or SIN 53 degrees, SIN 30 degrees. 1.6. 8 AII path emerging into air along correct path by I and labeled R. 8 AE ratio division of two identical quantities speeds. Sine functions pure numbers. 8 by path labeled V with two correct refractions and below path of red light in glass. 8 BII larger frequency results in smaller speed in glass or R. A. Reverse argument or inversely related proportional. NE2 from more refraction closer to normal larger refractive index for larger frequency or R. A. Violet light has larger frequency or O. R. A. Violet light has a smaller speed in glass or O. R. A. Violet light has larger refractive index or O. R. A. 0625_W19_Ms_42.pdf. 7I deflection. Then reverse deflection current voltage or greater deflection. Or deflection for shorter time. Or change of magnetic field flux. 7AII larger deflection or deflection for shorter time. Higher speed or larger rate of change of magnetic field flux. 7B current power too high or trip hazard and cut in insulation. Unplugged socket on damp, wet grass. Overheating, fire in extension lead or trip hazard. Short circuit, shock, electrocution through cut in insulation. Short circuit, shock, electrocution through plug on damp, wet grass. 8A R proportional to length. R proportional to 1 area. R equals 0.14 times 3 halves times 4 ninths. R equals 0.093 ohms. 8 by first 2 rows correct. Last 2 rows correct. 8 BII NOR gate correctly connected. Except or gate followed by not gate. Correct symbols for NOR gate. Except or gate followed by not gate. 9A where region an electric charge experiences a force. 9B all criteria must be met. 5 lines with both ends within 2 mm of plates by I. Middle 3 lines straight and within 10 degrees of horizontal by I. Top bottom lines, straight or with outward smooth curves, ends vertically less than equals 16 mm below above ends of plates, if curved. Horizontally symmetrical by I. Spacing between lines, 7 mm. Less than slanted equal spacing. Less than slanted equal 23 mm. At least one arrow left to right not any arrow R to L. 9CI equals QT in any form or Q equals it. Q equals 0.21 times 10 times 60 times 60. Q equals 7600 C. 9CIIE equals VQ in any form or E equals VQ. Or E equals 1.2 times 7560 E equals 9100 J. 9 CE chemical potential energy. 0625 underscore W19 underscore Ms underscore 43.pdf. 8a radial lines from sphere. Arrows pointing towards sphere. 8bq equals it, in any form or 0.21 times 75. 16c. 10i movement of magnet relative to coil R. Induces EMF PD current across in LED. Light goes off when magnet no longer directly below coil. 10ai door closes more quickly than it was opened, so higher current in LED. Door magnet moving for shorter length of time. 10b any 2 from. Quick response. Protects against electric shock. Protects against overheating. Easily resettable. Avoids damage to lawnmower. 9i voltmeter shown connected across LED. 9ai ammeter shown connected in series with LED. 9b page D. Across two resistors in parallel equals 3. 7 to 2.1 equals 1.6 V. Resistance of circuit equals 3. 7 over 0.19 equals 19.5 ohms. And resistance of LED equals 2. 1 over 0.19 equals 11.1 ohms. Combined resistances of two resistors in parallel equals R2. Or 1 R equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2. Or R equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2. Or current in either R equals I2. Resistance across parallel combination of resistors equals 19.5 11.1 equals 8.4 ohms. R equals VI in any form. R equals VI in any form. R2 equals 1. 6 over 0.19 R2 equals 8.4 ohms. 17 ohms 17 ohms. 0625 underscore W20 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 7a steel underlined. 7 by the direction of the force on a n pole and left to right n to s. 7 BII beam deflects. Beam deflects into the page. Moving electrons charges constitute a current or left-hand rule or moving electrons current in a magnetic field. Experiences a force. 7b part of beam deflects. Alpha particles deflect in opposite, different direction to. Beta particles, electrons are all. Alpha particles have similar deflections or. Alpha particles deflect less. Gamma rays do not deflect. 8a related to energy supplied in driving charge in a circuit conductor or property of source battery, cell power supply. Energy supplied per to unit charge or energy transferred to electrical energy or from other form of energy or energy in. Driving charge around a complete circuit. 8 by I equals V divided by R equals 240 divided by 30 equals 8.0a. 8 BIP equals V or 240 times 8.0 1900 W. 8b 1/2 the size. Equal voltage page. D, E, M, F, and resistance is twice the size R. I and R are inversely proportional. 8b2 fuse rating equals 13. A, 14. A, 15. A, 16. A, 17. A, 18. A, 19. A. Total current is 12.1. A. 0625 underscore W20 underscore Ms underscore 42.pdf. 8a conditions outdoors may be damp, wet. Water conducts electricity or clear statement of need for waterproof outdoor specification components. 8b protects components, appliances, circuit, wires, user, mains supply. Prevents electrical supply overheating, fires, electrocution, shocks. Excess current, power in circuit, wires or fuse melts, blows or circuit breaker opens. 9IC pointing horizontally to right. B and D pointing horizontally to left. 9AIIS on left and N on right. 9b any one of the following methods. 1 heat magnet. To high temperature, red hot. 2 hammer the magnet. Repeatedly, in E, W direction. 3 place magnet in a coil, solenoid carrying A, C. Remove magnet from coil or decrease current slowly to 0. 9C at least 3 concentric circles. Closer together near the wire and clockwise arrow. 9CII arrows or field reverses is in opposite direction. 10I recognizable ammeter in gap AB. And straight lines in CD and EF. 10AII recognizable voltmeter across 4. Omega. Correct voltmeter symbol used. 10AE. V equals I. R in any form or. V equals I, are words, symbols or numbers. V2 omega equals 2 times 2.5 equals 5V. I4 omega equals 5 divided by 4 equals 1.3a. Must be clear that I refers to 4 omega, or calculates Rp equals 1.33 omega, or 4 divided by 3 omega. I6 omega equals 2.5 plus 1.3 equals 3.8a. Or I6 omega equals 5 divided by 1.33 equals 3.8a. Alternative root for first 3 MPS. I proportional to 1 divided by R, or I2 ohms times R2 omega equals I4 ohms times R4 ohms. I4 omega equals I2 ohms divided by 2. I4 omega equals I2 ohms divided by 2 equals 2.5 divided by 2 equals 1.3a. Alternative root by potential divider. V equals I, R in any form, or V equals I, R words, symbols or numbers. V2 omega equals 2 times 2.5 equals 5V. Vt equals 7.33 times 5 divided by 1.33 equals 27.51V. I6 omega equals 27.51 divided by 7.33 equals 3.8a. 10b any sort of triangle symbol pointing to left in EF. A wire in CD. 0625_W20_Ms_43.pdf. 8i. V equals I, R in any form, or I equals V divided by R, or I equals 3 divided by 4. I equals 0.75a. 8ai 0v or nothing or no reading. Diode does not pass current in reverse direction. 8b. And gate. 8cc and D both 1,000. First line of E0. Second, third and fourth lines of E1. 8cii 9a high voltage results in low current for same power. Ne2 from heat loss depends on current. Less power energy loss in transmission. Thinner wires can be used. 9b efficiency equals useful power output total power input. P equals V in any form. Power output equals 20 times 2.3 equals 46W. Power input equals 46 divided by 0.9 equals 51W. Input current equals 51 divided by 240 equals 0.21. A. 10A iron core coil solenoid becomes a magnet. Iron core coil solenoid attracts iron armature. Armature pivots, moves and contacts touch. There is a current in circuit B. 10B current in circuit B does not stop when switch in circuit A is opened. Steel remains magnetized when there is no current in the coil. 0625_W21_Ms_41.pdf. 7a electrons mentioned. Negative charges electrons move from cloth or move to rod. 7b electrons negative charges repel to earth or ball charged by induction. Ball positively charged. Opposite charges attract. 7bii negatively charged by rod or ball discharges becomes neutral. Repelled by rod or pulled down by gravity its weight. 8a. QT or rate of flow of electric charge electrons. 8b current in the 450 omega resistor equals 8CV 450 omega equals I, R or 0.012 times 450 or 5.4V or 9, 0 to 5.4 or 3.6V seen. I equals 3, 6/800ths or 0.0045A. P equals V or 3.6 times 0.0045 or 3, 62/800ths. 1.6 times 10 to 2W or 16 milliwatts. 8D resistance of LDR decreases. Current in circuit increases or resistance of parallel pair decreases. P, D, across 800. Omega resistor increases. And P, D, across 450. Omega resistor decreases, or resistance of parallel pair a smaller fraction of total resistance and page D. Across 450. Omega resistor decreases. 0625_W21_Ms_42.pdf. 8i clearly more V than plus V on left and more plus V than V on right. Same number of plus V and V. 8 AII charges flow from Earth or V charges flow to object. Electrons flow to balance excess plus V charge on the object. 8 Bi equals QT in any form or Q equals it. Q equals 0.65 times 10 to 3 times 2.2 times 60. Q equals 0.086 C. 9A 7.5 V. 9 by 1 Rp equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or Rp equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2 in any form. Rp equals 1.2 ohms. 3.2 omega. 9 BIIV equals IR in any form. 4.1 volts. 10A or gate. 10B0. 1. 10C prevents electrocution or metal case cannot become live or metal case always at earth potential voltage. If live wire touches metal case. 10D if current too high. Fuse melts. 10DII 13. A circled. Fuse rating value above but near to normal operating current 10A. Or, fuse rating value slightly higher than normal operating current 10A. 0625_W21_Ms_43.pdf. 8A5 straight, parallel vertical lines, equally spaced by I, between plates. Arrowhead pointing upwards on at least one line and none wrong. 8 by 11. A. I equals PV in any form or 2400 equals I220. 8 BII 9900C or 9800C. Q equals it in any form or Q equals 11 times 15 times 60. 8B13. A. 9I4 components joined in series. All circuit symbols correct for resistor, thermistor, a filament lamp and a power supply. 9 AII voltmeter connected in parallel to the resistor. 9 AE page D. Across terminals of power supply equals 18 V current through resistor when page D. Across it is 6.0 V equals 0.4. A. Current same through all components in series circuit. Or horizontal line through 0.4 A on graph through all three curves. Or P. D. Across filament lamp equals 3.0 V. Or P. D. Across thermistor equals 9.0 V. P. D. Across filament lamp equals 3.0 V. And page D. Across thermistor equals 9.0 V. 9B Any sensible use requiring temperature control or depending on temperature, e.g. fire alarms, to keep computers cool by. Operating fan, in incubators, electronic thermometer, electronic thermostat in kettle car engine. 10I 6.0 V. Vs equals NSVP NP in any form or Vs equals 25 times 125 hundredths. 10 AII 2.5A or 2500 milliamperes is equals IPVP Vs in any form or 0.125 times 126.0. 10 by arrow right to left along loose part of wire or any other correct position. 10 BII wire moves up. Reversing direction of the current reverses the direction of force. 10C coil does not continue to rotate in the same direction. 0625_W22_Ms_4 extended 1.pdf. 7AB3. X and Y they become magnetized or they strips have poles. Strips in the center have opposite magnetic poles or X and Y attract. X and Y touch close switch activate relay complete circuit. 7 by 150A. I equals PV in any form or 1. A twelfths or 1800 twelfths or 1800 twelfths or 0.15. 7 BII smaller resistance mentioned. Less thermal energy produced or wires do not melt or large current mentioned. 7C flexible strips in series with motor. Power supply in series with motor. Expected answer. W. X. Y. Plastic case Z. Flexible iron. Strips. 12 volts car. Battery. S. Magnetizing coil. M. Starter motor. 8A both relate to energy per unit charge. 8BE. M. F. Applies to the whole circuit, source or P. D. To one or more component or energy conversion to electrical for E. M. F. Or. From electrical for page D. 8C 4.8 V. 8CII 20. 1 RT equals 1 R1 plus 1 R2 or RT equals R1 R2 R1 plus R2 or 1 RT equals 1/24 plus 1/12. or 1 RT equals 3/24 or RT equals 24 times 12/24 plus 12. 8.0. 8 CE 2.9 V. V equals RT in any form or 4.8 12/20 or I equals ER in any form or 0.24 scene. 0625 W22 Ms 4 extended 2.pdf. 7a minimum of 1 complete loop above magnet and 1 complete loop below magnet. Additional field lines leaving both poles or additional loops above and below. Minimum of 2 correct arrows from N to S. 7b line with arrow to the left. 7c force to the left or force away from magnet 2 towards magnet 1. 7 CII force on N pole is in direction of the magnetic field OT. 8 ARY decreases. Change in V consistent with stated effect on RI. Change in RI are total consistent with their stated effect on RI. Or, change in proportion of the total page D across Y or proportion of total page D across fixed resistor consistent with their stated effect on RI. 8 by N equals 1.91019. I equals Q T. N equals 3. 0 over 1.610 to 19 or N equals Q 1.610 to 19. 8 BIIP equals 36 W. P equals IV or P equals IV or 3.012. 9I. 9 AII. 9 by I1 I2ZO. 0010. 0110. 1001. 1100. All Z correct. All O correct. 9 BII not. 9C. OR gate box labeled NAND gate box labeled NAND. OR gate with inputs I1 and I2 labeled and NAND gate with inputs I1 and I2 labeled www.exam-mate.com. 0625 W22 Ms 4 extended 3.pdf. 8a positively charged plastic rod is brought close to metal plate. Negative charges electrons from metal plate move to top of metal plate closer to rod. Earth lead connected to metal plate and negative charges electrons move on to plate. At the end of the process earth lead removed before charged rod removed. Or at the end of the process metal plate has net negative charge. 8b correct direction, pointing away from negative terminal clockwise arrow. And current flow in opposite direction to flow of electrons. 9a 0.02 s. T equals 1 F or T equals 1 F or 1/50th. 9 by correct shape shown with rectification for 2 cycles. Sine shape shown without rectification for 2 cycles. 9 BII 340 marked. 9b1 correct time value marked on time axis. A second correct time value marked on time axis. 11a at least 1 line on the left and 1 line on the right, outside coil. And, curved back over the top and under the base of the coil, towards the central core of the coil. At least 2 straight vertical lines inside coil. Direction of arrow correct on at least 1 line and none wrong. 11b 910. NP NS equals VP VS or NS equals VS VP NP. Or NS equals 1000 33000. 400,000. Or NS equals 11,033. 400. 0625 W23 Ms 41.pdf. 7a electrons move from cloth to rod. Plastic rod gains electrons. 7 by region where an electric charge experiences a force. 7 BII at least 3 radial field lines distributed evenly around outside of S and touching S and not inside S. Arrow on at least 1 field line pointing towards S. 7C arrow through Z and away from center of sphere. 8I 900C. I equals QT or Q equals at or 1.5600. 8AII 2.0. R equals VI or RDIT equals VI or 9. 0 over 1.5 or 6.0. RCYL equals total resistance, P or RCYL equals 6.0 4.0. 8B 1200 SR is directly proportional to L or new cylinder twice as long means twice R. R is inversely proportional to our new cylinder half cross-sectional area means twice R. Resistance of cylinder equals 4 AII. 0625 W23 Ms 42.pdf. 6 AP. D. Across LED equals 4. 5 to 1.2 equals 3.3 V. V equals IR. 6B LED is a diode, which only allows current in one direction, has a very high resistance when direction of current is reversed, or it is reverse biased. 6 CE equals IVT or T equals E, V or Q equals E, V and Q equals IT. T equals 1050, 0.024.5 3600, or T equals 3.2 H. 6D charge equals 72 C. I equals QT or Q equals it or Q equals 0.020 3600. 7A. All correct 2 marks. 1 or 2 correct 1 mark. 7B 3.0 108 meters per second. 7C 0.12 meters. Midpoint of frequency range identified as 2.44 GHz. V equals F or equals V, F or equals 3.0108. 2.44 109 or equals 1.210 N. 7 CII radio waves, signal lose energy, get weaker, lose signal strength passing through walls out. 0625_W23_Ms_43.pdf. 6A sketch. One axis labeled V and the other labeled I, either way round and gradual curve from origin curving such that VI increases. Explanation. As current temperature increases so resistance increases. Some more voltage required for same increase in current out. Or if V on y-axis, gradient must increase. Or if V on x-axis, gradient must decrease. 6 by 9.0 V. 12.03.0. 6 BII 2.1a. I equals VR or I equals VR or 9. 0 quarters point 2. 6B0A. 6B. 6BIV ammeter reading 2.1a. 6BV19W. P equals V or P equals V or 9 2.1. 7I radial arrow. Inward radial arrow. 7AII positive point charge. Positive charge. 7B electrons negative charges move out of plastic, or removed from, lost from plastic. 7C any mention of free, mobile, delocalized electrons. Conductors have free, mobile, delocalized electrons. Or, insulators do not have free, mobile, delocalized electrons. 8I clockwise. Force on left of coil up or force on right of coil down. 8AII turning effect is greater. 8AE turning effect is less. 8 by horizontal line, labeled B on the left and A on the right. 8BII vertical line, labeled A at top and B at bottom. 8B horizontal line, A on the left and B on the right.